In my last video, I shared part one of this whole house clean with me. In today's video, we are going to do the second half of this. Every single room, top to bottom, we are going to be doing so much cleaning today, so I hope you guys are ready for a ton of cleaning motivation. Let's get started. When I ended on my last video, we were in Emma's room and then I moved on into the bathroom. Because I had a view of what it looked like once I was done cleaning, I wanted to go ahead and add some more of that footage. I did edit it a tad bit differently, so it wasn't quite so boring if you've already seen it. So I was hosting Thanksgiving and now I am going to be hosting Christmas as well, and I'm really looking forward to it. I have enjoyed hosting so much with just the older I've gotten. I usually let my mom do it, but it's been so much fun to be able to do it. And not only that, I love decorating the house. I've been able to get some beautiful decor from Wayfair. I also was able to get those gorgeous dishes that we used at Thanksgiving from Wayfair as well. I love being able to go there because everything I need is right there at my fingertips. And I also want to remind you all, you can earn and redeem reward points as you shop this season. They have the top rated and best selling seasonal products that help you win the holidays. So if you are hosting or you're just decorating your home for the holidays, Wayfair is your one-stop shop. That's the way I win the holidays, and that's the way you can as well. Wayfair has been my shortcut for a cozy, joy-filled December. From decking the halls to hosting holiday gatherings, I can find everything I need to make my season bright. And also, you can get things you need at the very last minute. You also can find stocking stuffers and small surprises under $25. So check out Wayfair to feature their top-rated, best-selling seasonal products that help you win the holidays. Thank you so much, Wayfair, for sponsoring this portion. Emma's room is fairly easy to put back together just because I organized it, and it just everything has a home, and that is why organizing is so incredibly important, because when you know where everything's supposed to go when it gets out of place, it goes right back there. Also, when you are looking for something, you know exactly where to go. It makes your life so much easier. That's why you want to try to limit the clutter in your home, because it's hard to find a home for every single thing. So just limit the things that you bring in, and the things that you bring in, make sure they have a home. Wow. That was a lot of the same words for different things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's keep on going. Heading into the kitchen, you remember last night I cleaned the entire kitchen, and I wanted to do that because we were trying to really just utilize the time. The day was escaping me, and I wanted to go ahead and knock it out because I also like to have my kitchen clean when I wake up in the morning. So I am now just vacuuming it, not vacuuming it, I am doing a mop vac throughout and giving it a good clean. I will do the regular mop probably later on this week because we're going to have some people come over for a little youth church thing. So I'll do that, but on a daily basis, which PS, I do not bring this out on a daily basis. I wish I was that person who did. I really, really, really wish I was, but I'm not. But for a more frequent occurrence, this is what is going to usually come out. But like I had said, it does require maintenance. You do have to clean it out thoroughly. So, it just depends on what you want to use. I've always wanted to be one of those people who mopped every single night. I have tried it and it lasted all of 3 days. And I kind of would like to be one of those people who like deep clean their house or it's like I clean every single day, like tidy, and I put things back in order. But even after a week of doing that, I feel like, oh, it still doesn't feel as fresh as when you deep clean. When you get done cleaning and you look around, you're like, wow, it feels good. It smells good. It feels lighter in here after just, you know, putting things back where they go and tidying up every night. Obviously, I do clean my kitchen and stuff. It doesn't have the same effect. I don't know. I don't know if you guys noticed that as well. But I pretty much have a cleaning routine in the evenings, and it just depends on what I have out of place during the day. Depends on what I'm going to do. The kids go to school all day, and if it's clean from the night before, it doesn't really get that messy. So I do put things away throughout the day, but I don't have like an early day cleaning routine because I do it at nighttime. So yeah, that's just kind of how I do it. I am going to tell you something amazing about those bar stools you see there. I used to have these other ones that I got from At Home, really nice. But they were fabric and they were destroyed. I mean, destroyed. And I did try to use the handheld attachment from the carpet cleaner to clean them off. I have sprayed all kinds of things on them. Could not do it. And then one of them completely broke. So that's why we ended up with two. And then I was looking at them, and on the side of one, the fabric had actually like ripped apart. So I have been wanting those bar stools for 5 years, and this is no exaggeration. This is how I work. And so I saw them from somebody on Instagram and I loved them. And then I saw them in a video and I loved them. And so I've been scoping these bar stools out forever. They were $449 each. No, ma'am. I don't have that kind of bar stool money. So I just keep my eye on them. And as I've been looking for new bar stools, because the other one broke, the other ones are just destroyed and ripped, I decided, you know what? I'll just look on Facebook Marketplace. Mind you, this is recently. Throughout the years, I have gone to the website and looked for these bar stools and see if they've come down on price or anything, and they haven't. I just periodically do it. So recently, because I was hosting Thanksgiving, I'm like, I've got to get some new bar stools. And so I looked on Facebook Marketplace and found them. I found them. And I could not believe it. But the lady was an hour away. So I was like, look, can you just meet me halfway? Can you meet me a quarter of the way? I'll drive the rest. And she just didn't want to. And so then I met another lady that I was trying to get her attention. She never responded back to me. Then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to drive the hour. And I was going back and forth with her. And then she ended up selling them. So I'm like, you know what? It's not meant to be. I go back into At Home and I see an extra bar stool that matched my other set. But I'm like, I really don't want these because, listen, fabric doesn't do well in my home. It just doesn't. So I don't know what drove me to do it, but I pulled up the Ballard Design website and everything was like drastically slashed. And it was so slashed. The prices, that is. I went to ChatGPT, put the website in, and was like, is this legit? Because some of these websites can like pretend they're other websites. I was like, is this legit? And it said, yes, it is legit. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I pulled up those bar stools, my friends, $449 to $95. $95. I could not believe it. I was like, no way. No. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to get me 4. I'm going to have to get me 4. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And so I did. And I was so excited. They came in and my friends, finally, after about a week of sitting there in the driveway, I had my son put them together. And I'm like, oh no, these are really, really big. Something's wrong. So we take it to the island and it is towering over the island. And I realized I purchased bar stools, not counter height stools. And so I had a moment of dread and sadness. And then I went to Chris and said, listen, this is what I did. I don't know what to do. I'm probably going to have to return them. I'm very sad because I love them. And he's like, well, just see if they have counter height stools. I'm like, okay. So I go online to Ballard Design, and they do. But for some reason, the counter height stools are $330. $330 each. It's a big difference. That's a big difference from 95. So I'm like looking at my son, and I'm like, if we could just cut it. And then my son's like, we need like a sawzall to just slice through it. And then I tell Chris the deal, and he was like, "Oh no, we ain't paying no extra $1,200 for some bar stools." I'm like, "No, no, no, I would never. I would literally never do that." And then he's like, "Wait a minute, I just bought this tool. Hold on." And he brings his little tool, and it cuts copper piping. He puts it. We measure it. He puts it on the bar stool, and he just, I mean, it's a lot of just this little thing. It hits, it like sits on the pipe, if you will, and then you just spin it in circles. And then the leg just popped right, cut right where we needed it. And so my son, Liam, ended up doing that for all three of the bar stools. All three. He was able to put the little plastic rubber piece in the bottom of it so it doesn't scrape the floor. And you could never tell that those were originally bar stools. They are now perfect counter height stools, and we saved a ton of money. I was so happy. So the moral of my story, if you are ever looking for something and it needs to be modified a little bit, but the price is right, y'all modify it. There's no way in this world I would spend $330 on some bar stools. I would never do that. Each. And I bought 4. Now I have an extra one sitting in the garage because I know how my family is. So each. But I got them for $95 each. So if you see something and you're like, oh, I like it, but I don't like the color, or I like it, or maybe it's slightly the wrong size, or whatever the case may be, look at it from a different angle and think, could I modify this? And most likely you can. So there's my little success story. Thankfully, I had another set of sheets that I went ahead and put on the bed right away, so I didn't have to wait for the other ones to get done. That is why having a second set is so convenient. I need to do that for my boys upstairs for sure. So I'm moving on into my younger boys' room. This is the room I was referring to when I was talking about going through there and getting rid of their stuff. This is what I was talking about. So this is what you can see. So I come in here. And first off, it's dark. I don't know why kids like to live in a cave, but okay, it's fine. So I'm coming in here and I am just going through all the trash first. I'm putting it in a pile. Any toys, I throw it in these bins. They have 2 of these bins. My youngest son uses both of them. And so I will fold, like I'm folding their blanket, but anything that is out of place, I'm trying to put it in its place. The older one has a pretty good handle on his things, but the younger one, not quite yet. He just doesn't care. He's a great, wonderful kid. He just doesn't care, which is totally normal. But he is, I now remember this when he was a toddler because I remember cleaning a lot, but it always feeling messy. So I remember sitting and watching him when he was a toddler and like, why is it getting such a wreck in this house? And he would pick things up like most kids, and then he would drop it and move to the next, and drop it, move to the next. And most kids do that. That's totally normal, but they usually grow out of it. He still does that. Even today, he's a fiddler or a fidgeter or whatever you want to call it. And so he will grab something, play with it, put it down and grab something else. And he does that as he walks through the house or he's in his room because he's just not thinking about it, which is totally fine. He's only 11. And, I give him a lot of grace because he's just a kid. But the trouble is he will pick up random things like my cup Or I gave him a Cash App card in case he needed to get some, like a drink or food at school. They can use the Cash App card. It's my card. Well, I don't even know how, but it was in under his dresser. The Cash App card was under his dresser. So there were bottles and these magnets. He got these, they have like magnets that kids can play with. They were literally everywhere in this room. Oh my stars, it was crazy. So that's what he does, and it drives his older brother crazy because he's more of put everything in its place. Everything's neatly done. He's that type of kid. So is my 15-year-old. Immaculate room, like nothing's out of its spot. But my youngest one, he's just not there. And so I have explained to him that it's just not fair for him because he deserves to live. And another person said this in the comments, and I love that, but I have said that to him before. Like, you deserve to live in a clean room and have a clean space. You are going to work better if your space is tidy. You're going to be able to function better. And he's like, no, no, not me. And I'm like, yes, you, everybody. That's just how it works. But I'm like, your brother doesn't want to live like this, and he deserves to have a clean space. You deserve to have a clean space. So you need to be respectful of his space too, because y'all are sharing it, and you need to put your stuff away. So I told him from the get-go, I'm like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want to get rid of. He already went through his clothes himself. And we did a lot of that in the not last video, but the video before, where it was like, throw it all away or get rid of it or something like that. That was a ton of clothing that we got rid of. But the rest of the stuff, I'm like, what do you want? Do you want these magnets? Do you want these empty Tic Tac containers? Do you want the broken toys on the floor? And he's like, want this, don't want this, and he gave me the heads up. And I said, okay, the rest of the stuff I don't know. I'll bring it to you, or I'll put it in the bin. I won't get rid of it. And they trust me. See, that's the thing. I have built up so much trust with my children that they know if I go up there, they're not going to go into the room and be like, oh my gosh, where is everything? They know I don't work like that. So full trust and transparency when I come in here and do it. And he's thankful because it's just one less thing that, he has to hear from us, and it's getting done. And and Josiah appreciates it too. So I just wanted to share. That's how I did this. And every so often I will do this. Now, I have had to before, because when I tell him go clean your room, he's like, I don't know how. I'm like, child, how do you not know how to clean your room? Like, I've taught you so many times. So I have literally written down on a sheet of paper how to clean your room. And I wrote, like, on each little line, I was like, trash in trash bin, and put an arrow into trash bin. Bed, make it. Toys in the leather ottoman. And like, I've written that, and I've given it to him, and he still was like, I just don't know how to do it. So I know he knows how to do it. He doesn't want to do it. So one time while I had left, and he sent me a message, and he was like, Mom, I can't do this. I'm like, no, 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 you can do this. You don't want to do this. Big difference. And then I was like, did you put the trash in the trash bin? And he was like, hold on. And then he did it, and he came back, he said, done. I'm like, okay. Did you put the Legos in the little leather ottoman cube? And he's like, hold on. Okay, done. And I literally did that with him with everything. And then I said, send me a picture of the dresser. And then I'd be like, do you see that right there? Get rid of that, and that. Come back to me when you're done. And I did that too. Because in my mind, I have to know that I have helped him as much as possible. I have done all of that. I have showed him. I have written it down. I have walked him through it. I have literally stood next to him while he's doing it. The reality is he just doesn't care, and that's okay. But you have to care because it's not just your space too. So that's what I've done to try to help my son to clean his room. And I can now say, as a parent, I have done everything I should do to help him succeed. It is now up to him. So if you are struggling with a kid who doesn't want to clean your room, in my opinion, I would make sure you can check everything off the list. Like I said, I did. Just wrote it down, stood next to him and did it, showed him how to do it step by step. Once you get to that point, they have to do it. And there has to be consequences if they don't. There has to be. I'm not saying the consequences are relative. You do what you got to do. But there are things in life that we have to do. One day, it's not going to be mom. It's going to be a manager or a boss telling him that he has to do something. And that's how I think of it. Or a wife saying, I need you to do something. And he can't just look at his manager, his wife, or his partner or whatever and be like, no, I don't know how to do it. No, 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 no. We're confusing I don't want to with I don't even want to say the word, but just laziness. And it's okay. We can all have our days, but overall, like you have to work through that. We all have to work through that. That is life. So that is what I do for my child who doesn't want to clean his room. That's what is actually working now. He's doing better. But another thing that I have to do, and you may struggle with this as well, you can't let a lot of time go. I will. I'll let a ton of weeks, a month go by and then go back up there and like, what happened? No, I can't do that. I have to remind him or just kind of inquire about it every few days. Hey, how's your room looking? Because if it gets too much and it's too overwhelming, he breaks down. And so I'm learning, I have 6 kids, and so they all work a little bit different, and I'm learning, and we are trying to do this together. But if you're in the same boat as me, I could just do, this is what I've done, and this so far is what has helped me.
Hit me like a ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing along. Yeah, I need you around for brighter light and firmer ground. When you believe in me, love is gonna set me free.
When cleaning a bathroom, I always recommend doing a vacuum first. That way you can get any of the dust and the hair up before using anything like this. That way you're not constantly moving that stuff around. But in this situation, in this bathroom, that isn't even possible. I really don't know how their bathroom gets like this, but it does. So I wanted to give it a good clean. We still need to do this bathroom. I'm really, really, really hoping we can do it in 2026 because it desperately needs it. The floor is giving out underneath, behind the toilet. Oh goodness, behind the toilet and behind the cabinet, and it just is. It just needs to be completely gutted. Oh my word, completely gutted. Thankfully, I really love projects, but Chris has a bad back, and so I have to try to figure out what we're going to do. His back is not getting better. He had the epidural put in there, and he still is struggling. So he's going to go to another doctor. They're going to do a whole workup plan for him. We've already had blood work done. We don't know what's going on, but I told him, I did tell him that some of you guys said that your spouse has had surgery or you had surgery and it was a good thing. So I told him that, but we're going to try everything we can possibly do beforehand because I would not want him to have to do that. But it's really rough, but maybe I'll just have to learn how to do it myself. I don't know. I don't know that it kind of that I've always wanted to like really, really remodel and renovate things, but I don't know. That's a big one. This bathroom is going to be a big one, so we'll have to just see. But or maybe we'll just have to pay someone. I don't know. I don't like to do that. I don't like paying somebody to do something that I can do myself. So we'll see. So I'm going to continue cleaning it all up like I always do. I did not do the shower though because we were getting a little bit later in the day, and we had one of my kids had their friend come over, and I don't like spraying that mold armor when there's not enough for it to air out. I don't want to do it like as the day is escaping us because it'll just kind of sit and then we can't have the doors open. You know what I'm saying? So I like to do that like first thing in the morning, open some windows, and so it has plenty of time to air out because that stuff is potent. But it does really, really work. I will say that. So now I'm going to start using this here and going to clean as much as I possibly can. Because it needed it. And this is another thing. This is another reason why I love this so much because saves me from having to get on my hands and knees and having to clean all this, which is something I would usually do. And as you can see here, it is cleaning right through all of the sticky, yucky stuff in here. So I am going to combine this video and the last video together. That way you get almost an hour of nonstop cleaning motivation. If you have, obviously, you're watching this right now and you can hear me, that will pop up and I would love it if you watch it. But if not, I totally understand because you've already technically seen it. But I like to do that because some of us don't want to have to worry about going to the next video. And it's nice to have something that's really long, kind of like a marathon that's really long and it can just keep on playing. It won't quite be as long as a marathon, but I'll get them combined and that way we can have a lot of cleaning motivation. I'll do that on Thursday. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't yet already, please like this video. It really helps me out a ton, and subscribe if you haven't yet already. I look forward to seeing you again. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.